So hey everyone and welcome, it's RageGame here for another video, and if you haven't heard, there's going to be a Black Ops 4 beta. Black Ops 4 beta, 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 Black Ops 4 beta. Yes, that's right, seemingly it's everywhere, everyone's talking about it, but I'm going to be giving you the details today about it, my thoughts on it. So I think the first thing to generally say is that there's a lot of preference and exclusivity for Sony and PlayStation again, as there always is. So if you're an Xbox, you're going to be left out a bit. You're probably going to feel a bit like Activision don't care. And to be fair, that's probably what they do think. And if you're PC, they're going to pretend to care for a few months. And then afterwards, they're going to be like, actually, you know what? We don't care. So get used to that, everyone. The problem with betas is they're supposed to be quite good. And normally, with most games, I'd say they are. And they do listen to feedback and stuff. The problem is they leave the betas too late. They don't listen to feedback properly. They don't actually fix anything, and it just becomes a mess. So I expect in the beta we're going to see a bit of this. Probably some of this.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And definitely a lot of this.
No, it fucking froze again! Fuck you, Vonderhaar! Your game is shit! Black Ops 3 is a pile of fucking shit! It's a pile of fucking garbage!
I mean, I really hope it doesn't turn out like that, but given the last few betas, I just feel like that's what it's going to be like. Please, prove me wrong, Activision. Please, prove me wrong, Trout. But I feel like it's going to be a load of problems. Anyway, got all of that to look forward to. But with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the actual details of the beta. So, first up, it's going to be a private beta. I mean, you have to pre-order the game to get the beta. And I think that's a bit stupid in itself, because you want people to actually try the game and see if they like it before pre-ordering it. It shouldn't be the other way around. Most games have an open beta, and it really is annoying that they still have a private beta for Call of Duty, because they're hemorrhaging fans every year, and they just need to do whatever they can to show them that, hey, this is actually a good COD. Please have a look at it and consider buying it as we get more players. But no, they want to do the opposite. They want to isolate fans. They want to make sure that unless you've put money in, you're not going to get anything out, and you don't even get a free trial, which is pretty stupid, and it just shows that they haven't learned anything. In terms of the actual dates, the beta will start on August 3rd for the PlayStation 4, and then that beta ends on the August 6th, and then that's for the first weekend, and then the next weekend will be August 10th to August 13th. Now the first weekend is PlayStation only, the second weekend is PlayStation and Xbox, and alongside this you've got a PC beta from the 10th to the 13th of August. So basically the second weekend all platforms are playing, well except Wii. But here's what I don't understand. They're willing to give an open beta for the PC for the last 2 days, but they're not willing to do it for the PlayStation or the Xbox. That is just stupid. That just shows you they've got a problem with PC, because PC fans don't really like Call of Duty. It's not optimized well, and I get that. I do understand. I totally do. What is annoying though is that the PC beta also has an early access for if you pre-order it. So the first day you only get it if you pre-order it, and then the other 2 days is open for everyone. I reckon what they'll do for part of the second weekend is they'll open it up to everyone, but they normally don't say that, and then it normally happens last minute, just to get everyone on. But it is a bit ridiculous with the dates. Now, don't get me wrong, I do absolutely hate exclusivity in that one platform gets it first and more than another. But given that there is exclusivity, I think this is the best way to go about it, because I remember with the Black Ops 3 beta, what they did is they had the first, I don't know, 5 days or so, they had it for PlayStation, and then the next 5 days was Xbox. So it didn't make any sense, because the PlayStation had it first, so there was lots of issues, and by the time they had all kind of been fixed and people knew roughly what to do with the beta and what to think about it, Xbox already had the upper hand because they had knowledge going into the beta, whereas PlayStation fans didn't. So I think it makes sense, given that there is exclusivity, I think it makes sense that PlayStation have it the first weekend, because that's our kind of one-up on the Xbox, and then the second weekend both PS4 and Xbox One have it. But don't get me wrong, I really wish it wasn't like that. I wish it was just both weekends, both consoles. I do like a beta, but of course I want to play it as much as possible. The only thing I don't like about really long betas is that everyone posts so much rubbish about it on YouTube that basically most of the game is talked about and most of the game is played and whatever before the game even comes out. So it kind of feels a bit stale already when the actual game launches, because Yeah, because let's be honest, the beta we'll be playing is pretty much the same game we'll be playing when the game actually launches. I feel like the proper Call of Duty game isn't until about 3 to 6 months into its life cycle. So normally like past Christmas, getting into the new year, that's when they've fixed everything, they've balanced stuff, and roughly it's all right at that point. That's when what they should release on day one, because that would be much better. But going a bit off topic there. But what do we actually get in the beta? Well, we're going to get 6 maps, which is I think more than we had in the Black Ops 3 beta. I think that only had 3 to start off with, at least anyway. So we've got Frequency, Contraband, Seaside, Payload, Hacienda and Gridlock. I'm not going to talk about each one. For modes, we've got TDM, which is a strong one. We've always got TDM. We've got Domination, which I'm pleased about, and Hardpoint. It's alright. Not my favourite, but it'll do. Search and Destroy for you hardcore fans. Control, which is that new game mode, which sounds quite cool. I definitely think I'll try it out. They'll also talk about gear as well. So the Pick 10 system's coming back. I much prefer over that Division nonsense. That Division BS is absolute garbage. Pick 10 system is back, which I'm really pleased about. You get a special piece of gear. You can only choose one, so there's different ones like Cosmec, which will give you cheaper score streaks, heal faster with the stim shot, and then you get advantage with situational awareness. That's acoustic sensors. There's different gear. I imagine there'll be more in the final game, so that's quite cool. And finally, weapons have unique attachments. So some weapons will have some attachments, other ones won't, which makes it more difficult for when you're making loadouts, and it makes it more crucial that you pick a proper class when you're going for different classes to get camos and stuff, because each weapon will have its own attachments and stuff. So that's quite cool. And these are the operator mods that actually change how the weapon behaves. And I swear to God, if we have different variants of the attachments that are in supply drops or something, I'm just going to give up, because that's absolute nonsense. So yeah, that's what's actually going to be in the beta. Now there's actually something quite unique about this beta, and that's the fact that you actually get rewarded for playing it. So there's 2 things to talk about. First of all, anyone that plays the beta will get a unique calling card in-game when Black Ops 4 launches, which they do it every year with, like, you get a unique emblem or calling card, and it is just so terrible and so generic and basic that I don't want it, and B, the fact that it's available to everyone will use it, and then that takes away from the point of wanting it, because then it's so generic that you're not unique. So absolute crap, and I'm not at all interested in that. The other thing is, and this is a slightly more cool thing, everyone who reaches the max rank in the beta will receive a permanent unlock token, which actually will be very useful on day 1 for creator class. But definitely, that's something to work toward. I wish it was something a bit more interesting than that, but that's quite cool. But a unique calling card? Come on, Activision. You're wanting us to put down God knows how much for your game, plus all your Black Ops Pass and everything. So pre-order the game to get to the private beta, and you want to give us a unique calling card? Seriously? Nothing better? So the maps seem quite good. The only thing about the maps is that they don't really make much sense, because normally you've got a campaign where you'll go to different places, and then you'll say, oh, I know that map, it kind of resembles a certain mission in the campaign. Whereas we've got no campaign this year, so the maps are all just random. They might as well just have one from Candyland or something. Oh, it's just no, I take that back. Activision, don't do that. Trout, please don't do that. Final thing to talk about quickly is the Blackout beta. There's actually one coming in September, which is actually good. I'm glad they're actually bringing one. But considering that Blackout, I assume, comes with Black Ops 4, so I assume it's launching at the same time as Black Ops 4, I think. That means it comes out in October, so you're giving it less than a month, plus the fact it's going to be ready beforehand. Basically no time at all to change anything. So it's good that we're doing it and testing it, but I think it's too late. So they're saying that this is also going to be a private beta, obviously available first on PlayStation 4, so I assume it'd be the same thing. Weekend 1, PlayStation, Weekend 2, Xbox, but also you'll have PC at the same time, which will be open or something like that. So I think the Blackout mode could be good, but the trouble is we need more details about it. If they keep just not saying anything, it will just dampen the hype. So, but hopefully the beta should be good for that one. I'll bring more details on that when we know them, and I'm going to have a discussion about the Blackout beta later on this summer. But in terms of the Black Ops 4 beta, I just generally think they actually need to listen to people's feedback properly. They need to test everything, make sure it's all good, because I know otherwise you'll have other problems. So like, think about the beta with Cold War 2. That was a bit of a nightmare, but it worked alright. Then when we got the actual game, none of it worked, because you couldn't get on to start off with. You couldn't even get onto multiplayer. And then after that, if you could get on, then HQ didn't work. You couldn't get into it, and then they had problems with it. Was just a nightmare. So everything they're using, if they bring anything new, they need to make sure they test it properly, because otherwise it's just going to be a nightmare when it launches. And I think that's part of the problem. People just give up. If they've bought a game and it doesn't work, or if people just give up, and it just dampens the hype as soon as the game comes out, and that leads to its decline. So, but hopefully it all goes well, and yeah, let me guys know your thoughts down below in the comment section about the beta, and I will see you guys on the next video.